The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Touchdown, New Orleans! A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From just shy of midfield, Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going?
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Hurts sets up to throw it. Forced out to his left. Hurts fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Saints. Look at the big man rumble. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Play action now, Prescott. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints, if they convert the extra point, they'll have the lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. He'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Sanders a 1st down, still going. And finally down at the 32-yard line. 59 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Marcus Davenport in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
Oh, and Elliott has pushed it to the right. It is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
They start the drive on the ground, Kamara. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Prescott drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule it out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Prescott. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Play action. Here's Hurts. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
They go play action with Hurts.
He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right.
And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the 1st down.
So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Throwing is Hurts.
The Sanders has got it complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line.
74 yards on the ground for him so far.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
Flushed out right. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
These type of plays are backbreakers for our defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. They'll turn to Sanders, and he will get into the end zone for the 2 points, and that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Here's Prescott. Connected with Hill. That catch good for only a couple.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give him that the rest of the way. To throw, Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big-time play there for New Orleans. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Prescott. They'll roll him out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And the Eagles have just about sewn up this football game. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when we see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it. And sometimes...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A big play there. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Sanders. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. One last shot now for Prescott. It's complete. Kamara. They find some open field here. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
Good call, baby.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Eagles, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.